please stand for the invocation by Dylan Douglas and the Pledge of Allegiance by Van Meter.
Pray with us if you would. We also pray that you would continue first responders here in our community, all of our community. Pray also that you would help guide our local guide all of us.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which one nation, God, indivisible.
Okay, we have a forum tonight for our meeting. Can I get approval of the minutes of the previous meeting?
Chairman, make a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
I'll second that.
I have a motion on the floor, second. All those in favor? Carries. I have approval for the agenda for this evening's meeting.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Carries. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to clarify that the Planning Commission is a recommending body to the Columbia County Board of Commissioners. Decisions made on rezoning and variance requests tonight will be forwarded to the Commissioners for final action on April 1st, 2025. If you wish to address the Board of Commissioners at their meeting, please see Ms. Stahler. To obtain a request to speak form, any request with a public hearing will have a minimum of 10 minutes permitted per side for the presentation of opinions, data, and evidence by proponents or opponents of a request. The applicant will be allowed to speak first. Any member of the public may speak after. Either side may cede their time during the hearing if they so desire. First item, debate agenda, unfinished business. Mel?
Yes, so this is a rezoning request off Washington Road that was postponed from the February 20th meeting. The applicants have requested to postpone this item a second time, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. The property in question is located on kind of the southwest side of Washington Road and is currently zoned R2 single-family residential. It is between the Belmont apartment complex and Washington Commons, which is zoned S1 to the south. It is currently largely undeveloped. There is one existing house on the property, and here's the existing site. And the plan is to develop this property for 123 attached and detached cottage units. There are some concerns with this site from kind of a technical development standpoint with access and ability to meet fire code and things of that nature that the applicants are still working through, which is why they are requesting the additional postponement. They did provide some examples of the unit types and the architecture and the site layout. They are intending to kind of arrange all of the units around these shared courtyard spaces from a functional design standpoint. In terms of future development, it is in the neighborhood's character area, but it is at the edge of the Evans Mixed Use Activity Center. And with this property being between two higher density developments, the apartment complex to the north and Washington Commons to the south, this use and density does make some sense here. So they just need to kind of sort through the technical aspects, and they're requesting the additional time to do that. So we do recommend postponing this meeting. They have requested to postpone to the May 15th Planning Commission meeting.
Okay, do I have a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion.
Still a public hearing, so
Yeah, you
we'll
still-
need to open the public hearing
I'm sorry.
regardless.
Anyone in the audience would like to speak for this? Anyone in the audience like to speak opposition of this postponement? Do I have a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion that we postpone RZ 250201 zoning from R2 PRD at 4204 Washington Road to the May 15th Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor duly seconded. All those in favor? Postpone. Motion carries. New business, preliminary plat, Highland Lakes West, Section 2. Ms. Danielle?
Yes, sir, this is a preliminary plat for Section 2 of Highland Lakes West. It is 92 single-family lots. This shows the location of the property, the west of the existing phases of Highland Lakes. This is on the south side of William Few Parkway. And the preliminary plat shows 92 single-family lots with a minimum lot size of 10,125 square feet and an average lot size of 11,527 square feet. This does meet the requirements for the R2 zoning district. And per that district, the setbacks will be a minimum of 55 feet from the center line and 10 feet from the side and rear property lines. Sidewalks and street trees will be provided on both sides of all streets, and 5.74 acres of open space is provided in this section. And staff is recommending approval.
Okay, do I have a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the preliminary plat for Highland Lakes West, Section 2.
I have a motion on the floor duly seconded. All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Have a final plat, Tillery Park South. Ms. Danielle?
Yes, sir, this is the final plat for Tillery Park South off Baker Place Road and currently zoned planned residential development. Shows the location of the property to the south of Tillery Park and to the west of Canterbury Farms. And this final plat is for 67 single-family lots with a minimum lot size of 7,150 square feet and an average lot size of 8,874 square feet. Minimum setbacks are 25 feet from the right-of-way, 7.5 feet from side property lines, and 10 feet from the rear property lines. There is a 50-foot buffer around the perimeter and 12 acres of open space in this section. Sidewalks and street trees are to be provided on both sides of the roads. However, construction is not complete at this time. Staff is recommending approval of the final plat.
Okay, do I have a motion on the floor for Tillery Park South?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the final plat for Tillery Park South.
I have a motion on the floor and seconded. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Public hearing. We have TUAs. Dylan?
Yes, sir. So the next 5 items are all temporary use authorization applications. They're all related to the operation of the Augusta National Women's Amateur Golf Tournament. So I'll present all 5 of them as we roll through. The first one is for a parcel off Champions Parkway. You'll know it as the Champions Retreat Golf Course parcel. Here, as I said, it is zoned planned unit development as a part of the Riverwood planned unit development. Again, though this parcel's purpose, as you can see, is the golf course itself. And this TUA application specifically is for the facilities placed intermittently throughout the golf course related to the operation of the tournament, things like concessions tents, as well as bathroom trailers, TV towers, the like. And then this is the player welcome area near the front of the golf course. Again, there's some TV towers and temporary structures that they're looking to place in that area as well. This next application is for another parcel just off Champions Parkway. This is for a couple office trailers and a restroom trailer, I believe affiliated with the security operations for the tournament as well. You can see the parcel here. Again, zone plan unit development within the Champions Retreat section of the Riverwood PUD. It's for a couple office trailers and a restroom trailer near the entrance to the tournament venue. This next application is for the temporary structures and temporary facilities necessary to kind of operate the tournament in the background. It's for the parcel that serves as the maintenance area for the golf course throughout the rest of the year. In planned unit development is the zoning for that parcel. And there's, again, different temporary structures in here, like trailers for the operation of the tournament, radio repeater, golf cart charging stations, I believe a rollaway dumpster, different, again, details related to the operation of the tournament. This is the only parcel, an application of the 5 that is away from the Champions Retreat development section. It's for a parcel that hosts Grace Baptist Church throughout the rest of the year. This is where the employee parking, off-site parking is for the operation of the tournament, and those employees are then shuttled to the tournament from this location. So there's a pickup and drop-off tent to kind of make sure that the employees are out of the elements during pickup and drop-off, as well as a bathroom trailer and an office trailer as well at this location. And then finally, this application is for the parcel that actually holds Champions Parkway. It is technically not zoned, as shown on our next slide here. But this is just the security checkpoint tent for, again, anybody entering into the event, entering on Champions Parkway. Staff is recommending approval of all of the shown temporary structures on these slides. Again, all affiliated with the temporary operation of the Augusta tournament.
Thank you, Dylan. Anyone present would like to speak for these temporary use authorizations? Present? Anyone would like to speak against? Do I have a motion?
Chairman, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion on the floor and duly seconded. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries on the TUA. Okay, major S1 revision, 562 Roundtree Way. Nina, Ms. Mystery?
Yes, so this is a major revision to the S1 zoning on 562 Roundtree Way. The parcel is 11.18 acres, and it's used for a church, for the In Focus Church and related uses. And the request is to add a preschool use with a playground. This is the location of the church property, which is on the north side of Roundtree Way. And the zoning is S1, and to the right is the townhomes and apartments complex, and then the other side is C2 zoning for commercial uses. This is the aerial of the church property, and you can see the large building on the left, which is the Lowe's property. Is photos of the existing site and the plat. So the original S1 zoning was done in 1998, and in 2018 there was a major revision to rezone property and expand the buildings and parking lot for the property. And the areas highlighted here shows that there are existing 10 classrooms that the preschool will use for their use, and the other uses on the church are the sanctuary education for elementary, middle, and high school. There's gathering spaces and also administrative offices on the property. This is the proposed playground for the preschool, and the school will operate from Monday to Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So it'll be hours where there's ample parking on the site, won't interfere with any of the church uses. And the future development map shows this in the Evans Activity Center, which is mixed use for residential and commercial uses. And churches and schools are an anticipated use activity center. And staff is recommending approval.
Thank you, Ms. Mystery. The owner of the In Focus Incorporated, or the applicant, Heather Huggins, present, would like to speak in favor of this? Questions? Any member of the audience would like to speak against this?
Chairman, I make a motion to recommend approval of file RZ 25-03-02, major S1 revision to allow a preschool on the property at 562 Roundtree Way.
I second that.
I have a motion on the floor and duly seconded. All those in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Major revision here.
Under Chair's request for a major revision at 2571 Williamview Parkway. I currently zone plan unit development. Their major revision is to rise the use from a funeral home to 3 single-family residential lots. This location of the property on the south side of Williamview Parkway. Again, currently zone plan unit development. It is kind of the remainder of this area here used to be used to be planning development as well. It was originally proposed for a cemetery. No cemetery there now. We have some houses. And this was going to be a funeral home. Again, kind of hard to have a funeral home without a cemetery. So the request is to revise this for 3 single-family lots. And again, everything around it is basically all residential except for this one, which is still a daycare property, or daycare use, excuse me. Here's the aerial view of the site, and the site itself, and the plat of the property. And again, the current plan, this is kind of shows you what was envisioned back in 2018 when this revision was done, in funeral home site here, and then the daycare next door. And it shows a concept, basically subdividing this thing into three different single-family lots, all zoned, all 1 acre exactly. And then with the uses itself and the setbacks, we do have some conditions, basically clarifying that it's going to be R1 for both of those. Again, we're developing this basically at R1 standards, so we'll apply those uses and setbacks to it. There's also a condition from traffic. There is some concern about where the driveway would be. It'll likely be in this location here somewhere. Could have 1 or maybe 2, but there will not be 3 driveways on this site, likely to share them for access to the site itself. Towards future development, again, it's in the neighborhood's character area, which is supposed to be residential uses. So again, converting it from funeral home to residential use makes some sense. This shows this is we recommend approval of conditions. Again, from our side of it, uses are limited to R1. Lots shall comply with the R1 zoning setbacks. We have 1 condition from traffic engineering regarding the access to minimize the number of access points. That includes staff recommendation.
The owner of Magnolia Gardens Memorial Park Incorporated, or the applicant PDH Builders Incorporated, would like to come forward and speak in favor of this. Anyone? Please speak your name and your address for our record, please.
Allie Robertson.
I'm Patrick Huguenot. My address 805 Peninsula Court, Evans, Georgia.
Have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience would like to speak in favor of this? Anyone who would like to speak against this? Do I have a motion?
Chairman, I make a motion to recommend.
I'll second.
I have a motion on the floor and duly seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries. And next item. Zoning from R1 to R2. Danielle?
Yes, sir. This is a request for a rezoning from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Single Family Residential at 414 Callaway Road Extension. Property is on the west side of Callaway Road Extension, just off Hereford Farm Road, and is currently zoned R1 Single Family Residential. So properties to kind of the north and east are primarily R1, while those to the west and are primarily R2 for Southwind Village. The initial concept plan for this site is actually called Southwind Village Phase 5, although it does not connect to current phases of Southwind Village. And this shows the aerial of the site. It is largely undeveloped property at this time, and a photograph of the existing site. And the proposal is to rezone this property to R2 single-family residential. This would allow for 10,000 square foot lots, all single-family detached homes. There are very significant traffic and fire code conditions with this proposal that will require upgrading the entire length of Callaway Road. This concept plan has been revised, as we'll see at our next meeting when we review the concept plan itself. But essentially, Callaway Road will not be realigned as it's shown on this plan. It will stay in its current alignment, but it will have to be widened and upgraded to handle the additional traffic, and a code-compliant turnaround added at the end of it for fire truck access and turnaround there. Traffic engineering has also conditioned left and right turn lanes out onto Hereford Farm Road, as well as potential additional improvements pending the results of the traffic study. In terms of the future development map, this property is within the neighborhood's character area. So the development of a single-family neighborhood in this area is very much in keeping with the intent of this future development map. And staff is recommending approval with those several conditions. So the requirement to improve Callaway Road to meet fire apparatus road access requirements, including road width requirements and the compliant turnaround at the end of it. And then so the significant traffic engineering conditions, including upgrading the pavement section on Callaway Road, keeping the current alignment of Callaway Road, adding the left and right turn lanes on Callaway Road, possibly modifying the intersection on Hereford Farm Road as well, depending on the project access improvement policy and the results of the traffic study. And then the standard condition that any roadways with straight sections longer than 500 feet do require traffic calming measures. And that concludes the staff recommendation.
The owner, Roger Screws, and the applicant, Bo Slaughter, are y'all present that would like to speak in favor of this? If you'd like to have anything. Speak your name and the address, please.
I'm Tyler Finley. I'm representing Houston Homes. I'm not Bo or the owner, but Bo is doing this for us. 6053 Veterans Parkway, Columbus, is our address. I'm here to answer any questions for you guys. Danielle did a fantastic job as always, kind of laying out the facts of what we're looking at here. We do have a revised concept plan. We sent that over a little bit earlier. That'll come before you guys. We are aware of the traffic improvements that are going to be needed here. We've taken that into account. I think you guys have seen several different layouts for this, either from us or from another group. We do have the piece of land just south of this on Hereford Farm that will be accessed through Southwind. That's what we're calling Southwind Phase 4. That's zoned. We're working on the design plans for the neighborhood. As we kind of work through several pieces of Four Oaks, then we'll move to Southwind and then don't have the intention of connecting to Southwind, and the main reason for that is topography. So, again, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Okay, thank you. You have any questions?
Yeah, I got one. Are y'all okay with all these conditions?
There's a few there. We came into it knowing that those would be some issues that we had to tackle. We do really like the Evans area. We've kind of made a home here. We're based out of Columbus, Georgia, set up a new market here, and it's been really good. And we'd like to continue that. We also have some stuff going on in Grovetown that we're working through. So, it's just part of doing business. Yes, sir.
So single ingress and egress.
I'm sorry.
Single ingress and egress. So what are the limitations on your tying into Southwind Road?
So topography being the main one there.
Okay. I don't have a topo map, so.
That would have required for us, it would require an extensive amount of road that did not give any lot yield back. So to pay for that amount of road, no return, made it very difficult development standpoint. Whereas we can come here and do this, and we felt like tons of green space or open space there. It served the property better to do it that way. And we think with widening of Callaway Road, the traffic improvements at Hereford Farm, the widening of Hereford Farm as it's coming from you guys would kind of calm some of that.
Well, thank you. Other questions? Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you all.
Any other member of the audience would like to speak in favor of this? Any member of the audience would like to speak against this? Do I have a motion?
Chairman, I make a motion to recommend approval with conditions, file RZ2.
I'll second.
I have a motion on the floor and seconded. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Will with the variance.
The sheriff's request for a variance, section 9-98 lists lot and structure requirements. There's building setbacks and remove maximum front setback in Evans Town Center overlay at 4323 Evans Locks Road, currently being used as an office. Here's the location of the site again, right down the street from us here. Currently zoned M2, the property that we're going to be kind of dealing with this evening, we'll be talking about this area here against the C2 next door. Again, most everything around it is zoned C2. Then you have some C3 down the street and some P1. Then across the road, some more C2 and some townhouses. And you get an aerial view of the site. It does kind of show the odd shape of the property as well, and the plat of the property, and the site itself. So this shows the overall site. Again, this is a non-binding site plan. They've given us, here's what we may develop on the site. This is basically office warehouse uses at the end of the day. We're looking at reductions in the setback here from 40 feet to 20 feet, and also on the front as well to remove the maximum setback. Again, this kind of shows what we're dealing with more close up on the front, and then also the rear of the property itself. So overall, it's one that we don't really get a lot of M2 development next to C2. It doesn't really happen very often. And you have a 40-foot setback. It's the same setback you'd have, this is a house next door. So it's one of those things that it seems a little excessive to have the same setback as if it was a house. Again, C2, you could feasibly have some conditional use for some residential there, whether it be a second story or something, or even a conditional use for single family. Not real common though. Again, C2 can have some pretty intense uses. You can put a Lowe's there, for instance. So it seems a little excessive to have a 40-foot setback. So we're reducing now to 20 feet. That's in line with the current buffer. Makes some sense, kind of meets some other standards there. So overall, no concerns there. The removal of the maximum front setback in Evans Town Center, they're showing the current building meeting that. They may in the future remove that and redevelop it on the front as well. They would like some flexibility, so if they don't do that, perhaps they can have some flexibility to move things around at the end of the day. That's really what it comes down to. No real concern there either. We get lots of requests to remove that maximum setback in Evans Town Center. So again, overall, no real concerns, and staff recommends approval of their request.
Okay, thank you. Owner or applicant, McGowan White Lumber Company or L&R Caribbean Retirement LLC here would like to speak in favor of this.
Ryan Mitchell, 1820 Champion Circle, Evans, Georgia. And I'm just here to answer any questions if y'all have any.
Okay, we have any questions about this?
Can you keep the house?
Yeah,
Love the house.
Yeah, we love the house.
Love the building. Been passing it every day, twice a day.
Been there
for
many
years.
years.
And then I got a second question. What's L&R Caribbean Retirement? I got to ask.
It's just play on words.
Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you for your time.
All right,
Yes, thank
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Any other member of the audience would like to speak in favor of this? Anyone here would like to speak against this? Do I have a motion?
Chairman, I make a motion to recommend approval of file VA 25-03-02, variance to reduce the side and rear setback, building setbacks, and remove the maximum front setback at 4323 Evans to Locks Road.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion on the floor and second, and all those in favor of this, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Do I have any legal matters this evening?
Legal matters tonight.
I appreciate that.
You too.
Any staff or commissioner comments? No, I don't think I have. Okay. Do I have a motion on the floor to adjourn?
Chairman, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
On the floor, seconded, all those in favor? We're adjourned.